your self-care warriors. Welcome back to Self-Care Haven. Today I want to ask you a question, which is, why do we love psychopaths? And you might be wondering, wait, what do you mean? I don't love a psychopath. I hate psychopaths. I hate the fact that they're exploitative. I hate the fact that they're manipulative. I hate the fact that they have this unquenchable thirst for power and control. I hate the fact that they always have to get ahead. I'm sure there are many things that you hate about psychopaths, but there's also a reason you might love them, especially in the initial love bombing stages of relationship, because they put on that false mask so convincingly, and they're so charismatic, and they're able to build harems and build social proof that they are someone that can be depended on. They are someone who is looking out for your best interests. They are someone who can fulfill your needs, fill any voids, or heal any wounds that you bring to the table. And they bring an excitement to your life and a thrilling adventure that you haven't felt before in the first initial stages of love bombing. You're so addicted to texting and contacting them and being in contact with them 24/7 that you feel enamored with them. You feel like they are your soulmate, and they're able to manufacture that connection because they're able to make you feel like you're cultivating these qualities and traits that you've never experienced in yourself before, but these qualities and traits always existed within you. When you were falling in love with a psychopath, you were actually falling in love with yourself. Now, you may have thought to yourself during the initial love bombing phase that you were really falling in love with this person because they presented to you many of the traits and qualities that you have within yourself. They presented empathy, conscientiousness, they cared about your feelings, they likely mirrored your hobbies, your dreams, your interests, your passion for life. They mirrored everything about you. So when you were experiencing them, you were experiencing them as a mirror of you. And although their flattery was over the top, it doesn't mean that it wasn't accurate in some form or fashion. They do tend to target the same qualities that you notice about yourself that you want others to notice about you. And so these are the very qualities and traits that already exist within you, but a psychopath is able to swoop in and mirror them in a way that it makes you feel like they're the ones who deserve to be admired, when in fact you're the one who deserves to be admired. You're the one who actually has these qualities. You're the one who actually does have empathy. You're the one who actually has conscientiousness and compassion for others and the ability to help and nurture and heal people. They're just the fakers, and you're the real caretaker. And this addictive cycle really has a biochemical effect on the brain. When you think about it, all this love bombing is activating all of these reward centers in our brain, and dopamine is flowing more readily to the brain when there is that intermittent hot and cold push and pull behavior where a narcissist or a psychopath is love bombing you intensely one minute only to pull the rug out from underneath you the next, and devaluing you and triangulating you and leading you into this sort of deceit and web of pathological lying. And in some ways, subconsciously to our brain, that hot and cold behavior is actually rewarding. I know it sounds sadistic, but it's not conscious. It's really subconscious. And our brain is reacting in a way that it would when it notices anything for survival. And to our brains, a narcissist or psychopath's mind games and their ability to keep us constantly off kilter, their ability to keep us perpetually walking on eggshells, taps into those centers of the brain and tells it to pay attention for survival. And due to all that fear and adrenaline and that rush of dopamine and the rush of oxytocin and our cortisol levels going haywire, there's so many different things that are happening within our bodies, within our minds, within our spirits even, that cause us to become addicted to this cycle of chaos. And when we're so addicted to that cycle and we are being hurt and rescued constantly by this person, and we're on this hamster wheel of trying to prove our worth, and we're constantly vying for this narcissist or psychopath's attention or approval or validation, we fail to see that this person hasn't brought out anything in us that didn't already exist already. Now, during the love bombing phase, they may have mimicked and imitated a safe, nurturing environment where your best self could come through and could shine through, and you could be loving, you could be trusting, you could be the best self that you could possibly be. And that's what happens when you go through a honeymoon stage with a narcissist, because you feel safe to come out. All those parts of yourself that you didn't feel comfortable sharing with the world come out, because you are finally given an environment where those things can be appreciated and validated and honored. And as you're disclosing your traumas, you have no idea that the person is planning to use them against you. You have no idea that this is a manipulator who is going to use that as ammunition against you. So you're trusting, you're loving, and you hope for the best, and you're idealistic. And it's not your fault that you were entrapped by a psychopath, but this is how it usually happens. And once that love bombing phase is over, at least for a period of time, you are suddenly devalued, you are suddenly terrorized, you're suddenly traumatized, you're suddenly abandoned and discarded and made to feel worthless. And this is a legitimate trauma. It signals to the brain that the drug that you are addicted to is gone, and you are going through withdrawal cold turkey. Yes, you can be addicted to another human being, and that is exactly what it feels like to be terrorized and abandoned by a narcissist or a psychopathic predator. And it's not something that you can take lightly. This is a real trauma that you have to process. But once you have gone through emotionally processing some of these traumas and validating your pain and understanding what you went through and understanding the manipulative tactics, it's also time to realize that you really did fall in love with yourself during this time. You didn't love the psychopath because the psychopath's false self never really existed, but you did love yourself because all of those things that they brought out in you, your playful side, your adventurous side, all of those things, if you were an introvert, their extroverted, charismatic self may have brought out your extroverted self more. All of those things that they brought out in you, they didn't create those things. That existed already within you. That has always been within you, and it can still be within you. You can still cultivate it for yourself every day. You can still bring that out in yourself every day. You can engage in acts of self-care. You can go on adventures. You can be with nourishing people who are genuine and kind. You can engage in hobbies and interests and goals and dreams that excite you. You can have a thrilling life without the roller coaster of being in an abuse cycle with a psychopath. You can be loved without being love bombed. You can even love bomb yourself and have it be genuine. These internal resources exist within you. They will always exist within you. They will always be a part of you. The person that you are when you are in a love bombing phase with a psychopath is still you. You're still that person. You still have that within you. You can be that with a genuine person in a partnership in the future. And you can be that person every day, and you can embody all of those great qualities and traits that they love bombed you about, because those do exist within you, and they do deserve to be appreciated. They do deserve to be honored. They do deserve to be validated. You can cater to the wounds that you've always wanted healed. You can process those wounds. And if the narcissist or psychopath always promised to rescue you or save you, but they fail to live up to that role, you can save yourself, and you can find people who can help support you while you're saving yourself, who are genuine, who have your best interests at heart. You don't have to kill off the person that you were when you were with a psychopath. You just have to revive him or her, because they're still there, they're still within you. You can resurrect them, and this is the person that always deserved to be loved. This is a person who always deserved to be appreciated. This is a person who always deserved to be honored. And when a psychopath was mirroring you and mirroring your best qualities and traits, you couldn't believe, oh my God, I've met this amazing person. The person that you met was you. You met yourself, and you thought you're pretty great because that's what they were mirroring back to you. So if you've ever noticed those creepy ways that psychopaths and malignant narcissists imitate others and pick up on their behaviors and pick up on their ways of speaking, even, they're picking up on things that they saw in you, and you love those things. So obviously you have the capacity to love yourself as well. Because if you can love someone who is a manipulator, someone who really came into your life recently, or someone you've only known for a few months or a few years, then yes, you can love yourself that much more, because they're you. Because what they were portraying was a caricature of who you are, and the real thing is even better. So whether it's doing mirror work, whether it's doing powerful affirmations, whether it's doing daily self-care, whether it's engaging in your dreams, your hobbies, your goals, your interests, as I said, whether it's surrounding yourself with supportive friends or family members, or validating people like other survivors, whatever you have to do to tap back into that person that you fell in love with, do it today and every day, and make space for it every day. Believe that you deserve the best, and believe that you deserve your best self coming out every day with or without the presence of someone like that in your life. You don't need another charismatic predator to come in to be charismatic yourself. You already have that within you. You have that within you because you were able to keep up with someone like that, someone who is very much the charismatic manipulator, someone who is a chameleon. And that's not a bad thing. It just means that you have a side to you that is also extroverted, that is also adventurous, that also wants thrilling adventures. Of course, not the kind of adventures that the psychopath is seeking, which is more about mind games, but rather you want excitement in your life, and you can have that excitement without a psychopath in your life. When it comes to life with a psychopath, when it comes to love bombing, life feels very vivid. It feels like you're always on this new adventure. You always feel like you are two against the world. You feel like partners in crime, and you can be your own partner in crime too. You can give yourself that dopamine rush. You can give yourself that affection, that attention, everything that you've always wanted from this type of manipulator. You can give that to yourself as well. And you can get it from people who are actually safe in the future, people who are emotionally safe. So I want to know your thoughts and insights and stories. If you have a story of the most bizarre way that a narcissist or psychopath love bombed you, or ways that you've love bombed yourself in healthy ways, please do share them in the comment section below. And if you haven't done so already, please do check out my new book, The Highly Sensitive Person's Guide to Dealing with Toxic People, How to Reclaim Your Power from Narcissists and Other Manipulators, from New Harbinger Publications. It's available in all major bookstores and also all online major retailers. So you can go to your local Barnes & Noble and pick it up if you wish, or you can buy it online if you prefer. Thank you again so much for anyone who has been reading the book. Thank you so much for your support. I hope you're finding the book helpful. I'm wishing you all many blessings. I hope you're doing well. And until next time, take care.